Okay, we have the John Deere 345 first generation. Taking the engine apart to replace the plastic cam gear. I thought I would take a quick video here to show the engine disassembly steps, at least how I got here. At this point, the engine's loose on the frame. I've taken all the connections and bolts out, but just to review some of the stuff. Obviously I took the whole frame off, or all the body parts off the frame. I took the fuel tank off so I could get to the fan belt, get the belt off easily. Fuel tank, I'm going to replace this bushing on the pickup because it's completely worn out and some fumes are leaking out. This fuel tank is the original one that doesn't have fuel return line, so I don't have to worry about that. So, pulled the heat shield off here, got the muffler disconnected from the two heads. We got the throttle cable's been disconnected by unscrewing this little screw here and pulling it out of the throttle assembly. I drained the coolant by pulling this hose loose. I tried to pull it loose at the top like it says in the instructions, but this bottom end came undone instead. So all the fluid ended up draining into a pan I put below the engine, or below the frame. Let's see, drain the oil. Drained all the oil out, used the jack to tip it a little bit, replaced the filter, put the new filter on so that we wouldn't get the threads damaged when the engine comes off. What do we have? Headlight cable. Headlight cable is usually routed behind this piece of frame and pipe tubing here, through this and over to the headlight assembly on the hood. I did end up taking all the pedals and the tunnel cover off because I needed to replace the spring clip that prevents this guy from spinning freely when the PTO is, or when the lift is up. So this little spring here holds tight up against this smaller hub here to prevent free spinning. With the snowblower, it tends to free spin all the time when you raise it up and down. On this side, obviously I've removed all the plastic covers. I removed the metal shield from here. Disconnected the main electrical harness to the engine. This is the solenoid starter signal. The main positive battery terminal goes here, along with the main harness power also goes on there, along with the positive power cable. Here's that throttle cable. Disconnected the fuel line at the fuel filter. Also, that's disconnected at this end because I took the pump off, so just popped that off of the fuel tank, or sorry, the tank, not the pump. Pop this off, put some plastic over it to keep any kind of gunk out of it while I'm cleaning the tractor. Let's see, what else do we have? Battery terminals, obviously, disconnect those. The engine has 4 bolts on the underside. Oh, well, I guess before we talk about the bolts, we had to take all the parts off the underside. The PTO clutch, I pulled the PTO clutch off first. For me, I didn't have the rusty PTO problem. So with the puller, I just got an 8-inch puller from Harbor Freight. Make sure that the arms of the puller are attached to the top of the clutch, not the pulley, because the pulley is attached here with a spring mechanism, but pull from this top edge. Pulled right off, not a problem. The cap screw that holds the clutch on, actually, it was kind of a pain. I ended up having to put a pair of vice grips on this outer washer and then use an air wrench on the inside to get it loose. But really, that was the only difficult part I had. The actual main drive pulley also came right off with the puller. I had to get the because the pulley sits so close to the top, to the underside of the frame, I had to put the puller fingers inside the pulley, which I wasn't that excited about, but the pulley came off with very little effort, so it's undamaged. This is the idler pulley, and it's bushing, top and bottom bushing, and guard. The idler pulley was not an issue as well. I had to pull it, idler pulley off so I get to the 4 bolts that are on the underside of the engine. When I took the drive pulley off, I had to get the belt loose first. I went ahead and used the method of removing the fan blade. Instead of trying to pop the big spring off, just take the fan blade off and then basically work this belt off of the sheave as you turn it, and it'll just kind of pull loose. And once you've released that tension, it's easy to get the belt off the rest of the pulleys. The 4 bolts on the underside of the engine. One note is that the one on the back right, the one that goes right in here, is longer than the others because the negative battery terminal connects, well, I lost where it is here, but the negative battery terminal sits on top of that bolt, and then there's a nut that goes on top of it. So the bolt goes up through the engine, through the frame, screws into the engine, and then a separate nut screws on top for the negative battery engine grounding. This reservoir still has a bunch of fluid in it. I'm just going to end up taking this cap off and tip the entire engine this way with a friend to dump the remaining fluid into the bucket I have. I think that's about all there was to it. So once I get this engine pulled off, I'm going to take it downstairs in a wheelbarrow and crack it open to get that plastic cam gear swapped out along with several other things.